All right, we are live once again on Shooting the Shizz with DK and the Schwag with the big Schwag, Brett Wagner.
Buddy, how are you, man?
Welcoming back writer, director. Once again, it's been a while of the Solar Massacre. Got a new project coming out called Unseen, and you cast a young, talented actress named Trinity Chase. Both of you guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, John.
Indiegogo campaign just launched today. The trailer launched today. Awesome trailer. We're going to show that too.
Awesome.
And you got a fantastic cast. And Trinity, your first time on the show. Melissa Rose and Brett Wagner in a film you're in. How cool is that? Your first lead role and with the Schwag and Melissa.
It's such an amazing opportunity. I'm so excited. Every single day I think about it, I'm like,
it's just the beginning for you, so that's a good thing. You know, what's really nice, especially. I mean, let's talk about it real quick, Steve. This is Trinity's. Really, this is her first gig, and I can say you're 19 years old. No one's going to blame me. Almost 20, 2 more months. But let's make it there. Steve, talk about the process. I mean, 19 years old, never really done anything. And how did you find her and what did you like about her?
We just put out casting calls. And honestly, I didn't put out that many, but we got so many auditions that I had to stop putting out the casting calls. And, unfortunately, after we had fully cast, we ended up getting a lot more other people, when they see the promo stuff coming. Are you still casting? Are you still casting? So I get messages every day. But yeah, we took in, I imagine at least 100 auditions within like 2 weeks. And Trinity's was one of them. And, we have producers on this that I consult with. The producer from Twitch Productions, Adam, and his son, Addison. Very, very awesome people, by the way. Go check out the website for Twitch Productions. It's got stuff for Unseen on there. But yeah, we consulted. We were talking about all the different auditions, and they were telling me which ones they liked and which ones they didn't like, and there's a bunch of them that I didn't send them because, as I'll be honest, out of 100 auditions, you've got like 20 or 30 that are pretty good, and then the rest are I hate that part. I hate getting all these auditions in from people, and it's like they've never done a video audition before. But Trinity's was one that kind of surprised me because I hadn't heard of her before. I didn't know much about her. She just sent in her audition, and she sent in her resume, and I sent her the sides for I think 2 of the characters, if I'm not mistaken. Just one was the lead and one was one of the supporting, principal characters. And when we discussed it, she was among the top 3 that we really liked for the lead role of Crystal. And but the audition that we had originally sent wasn't like enough. We needed to see more, to see something more intense. It's a horror movie. We need to see who can be frightened. And when we did our top 3 auditions for the second time around, she was the one that we all agreed that she just brought the most intensity and felt the most real. And all this time, I had no idea she'd never been in a film. I didn't know she was only 19, because I think our casting calls said specifically 25 to 35 somewhere in there, because the character is supposed to be late 20s. So, when she told me she's only 19, I was like, what? Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I'm not used to using these. I'm so used to them.
You're fine.
Well, I know one of the people you beat out, and I do think you were better for the role than I was. But maybe next time. Next time, I'll be the lead. You said you had better hair, and I couldn't argue. And
wow.
Well, we had a little argument about it. I was a little salty at first, but I realized, he knows best, and he made the right decision for his film.
I mean, if all it came down to was the hair, then
it was.
That's
and
not
he wanted
that
me
bad.
to shave that off. He said it made me look too old. And I was like, come on, Steve.
Darn.
Forget it.
Well, Trinity, let's talk a little bit about, I mean, your background, Trinity, and I mean, high school. I mean, did you do any kind of any plays, any
Yeah.
theater? And
Yeah, I kind of started in like junior high-ish, just like as an extra class, not even like really thinking this was something I could do, at just like something I could kind of have in my free time a little bit. And like I went to an arts high school when I like kind of transitioned up there, and all of my teachers there were telling me things like, no, you could move to Vancouver, Toronto, and a lot of people do this as like their day jobs all the time. And that made me really excited. And I went to acting school here in Vancouver, and I graduated, and now we're just running the races. It was kind of just like happened.
So where did you move from? So you full on like moved to Vancouver, or are you from Vancouver?
No, I'm from Calgary, Alberta, actually.
Wow. Very nice. So I've worked up in Calgary a ton, up in Red Deer, doing these car auctions and going up to the Edmonton Auto Show, which a little further above. So yeah, that's a nice. What's really nice is I know that you don't get that big snowstorms that you're getting up in Calgary. So
yep, I don't miss those that much.
So I remember my first gig I got, and it was after a year and a half. I auditioned so many times for movies and TV shows, and I almost gave up on acting when I was, I think, 22 years old. I was like, I'm done. I'm never going to get this. And I remember when my agent called me, he said, hey, by the way, you just booked a Tostitos commercial. And I was like, so talk about that experience, because man, right out of the gate, man. Did Steve email you or call you on the phone and say, "Hey, guess what? You're our lead in the movie"?
I honestly did not expect it at all. Like Steve said, it was 25 to 35. I just did the audition a little bit for the experience. I was like, this will be fun. It's a great role. I kind of like her a lot, but 25 to 35 is not me. And then I got the email from him, and I was like, okay, like, I guess this is happening now. Like, that's amazing. I'm so honored that like this was something that I was chosen for. It was definitely, I did not expect it to happen so fast. Right out of my like training and schooling and stuff.
That's awesome. What a great feeling. Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
I can only imagine the emotions that go through it. I mean, and at such a young age, you're starting at such a great time. And working with Steve, I think you're going to love. I've known Steve is one of the people who helped me, inspired me to do what I'm doing. I always tell him this. I was a producer on the Sawyer Massacre. Me and Steve became fast friends. I think you're going to have a great time. And this being an original film, I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the casting. I'm excited for you, excited for Steve and the campaign and everybody who's involved. So you guys are going to have a good time. I think the whole Sawyer Massacre experience now too, on the road, this is going to be, I think it's going to be a definite experience that you've grown from, Steve, if I'm correct on that.
Oh, definitely. The Sawyer Massacre was, it was the hardest thing film-wise I've ever done. Not that anything you do in film is pretty tough for the most part, but and I've had some challenging films that I've done, but this was by far, again, going to Texas, not knowing what to expect when you get there, arriving at locations you booked, and they're like nothing like what you expected. It was a tough experience, and I'm so glad I did it though, because I felt like I really needed a challenge, but at the same time I'm happy to be shooting in my hometown of Kelowna. Trinity, ever been to Kelowna?
Once when I was young. I don't remember it that much though.
But yeah, I mean, it's just exciting to bring this amazing cast to Kelowna. You're not far from Kelowna. You're 5 hours away or whatever, Trinity. But a lot of our casts come from the U.S., so it's going to be interesting. It was a big reason why we got to raise some funds, because the travel expenses are going to be a bit pricey on this film, that's for sure. But you know, obviously, if we don't hit our goal, we will recast. I'd rather not, though. I would rather not recast any of the roles because, man, you know, you see certain actors that you really, really like, and you know, like when we cast Sarkis, I think he's from L.A. in the role of Devin. You know, I was having troubles with the you know, the 25 to 35 guys, that range. I was getting a lot of terrible auditions from guys in that age range. And Sarkis came. When I saw his audition, I was like, "You've got the role, man." I feel bad because I made him audition for one of the other roles just to see, you know, which one I'm going to like him more for. But you know, I mean, I really want to keep this cast because, man, it's hard to cast good actors where I'm from. I'm just gonna say that it is. There's some good ones. Don't get me wrong. We do have some good talent in the Okanagan region here and in the Lower Mainland, of course. I mean, that's not a huge distance, but it's, I don't know. It's funny how I find a lot of great talent in the U.S. So, you know, props to you guys.
Not strange, Steve. That's not strange at all. I just, you know, I mean, a big deal is a lot of people that are, you know, that are actors up in Canada. Also, you know, their thing is, I want to come down to LA. I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go to New York. So you get this big. I mean, I can't tell you how many people that my friends down here that are Canadian that are actors that have made the move and they live here permanently. As I would love to go up to Canada, but it's not that easy to go up there and get a work permit for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about, what do you think some of the challenges? I mean, there's different challenges. I mean, great. I mean, from filming in the U.S. and then filming in Canada. I mean, like you said, it's in your own backyard, so that's got to be a bit of a relief. But what were some of the challenges that you faced when you were filming in the U.S.?
One of them, like before we actually filmed there, I mean, I had to make sure that I could legally film in the U.S. And thankfully, because the Sawyer Massacre was a non-profit film, I didn't have to worry about getting a U.S. visa because that U.S. visa would have cost me something like $5,000 alone just for myself. And I've had 2 other actors coming with me from Canada. So it was a good thing that the non-profit part of the Sawyer Massacre helped me get to the U.S. to film it. So that was definitely a big thing. And I imagine there will be similar things here when we bring U.S. citizens to Canada for this movie. It's a good thing my wife is kind of an expert with the whole work permit thing because she did it. She was an immigrant from the Philippines. So hopefully it won't be too hard. I've looked at it briefly. It doesn't look like it's going to be a huge thing, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a challenge. I mean, like I said, the locations were a challenge. The weather was a challenge in Texas. I didn't expect the Texas weather to be that cold. It was, yeah, like it was much colder than I thought it was going to be. It was March, so I get it, but I figured, you know, March would still be somewhat decent, but man, we were freezing our butts off, and, you know, the early mornings were colder, obviously, but, yeah.
It gets pretty cold up in Texas, especially at night, for God's sakes. Well, this is great. I mean, let's talk about some of the other cast. I mean, you got some, besides the big Schwag and the Lost Leatherface, you got some pretty big people. You got a nice cast. You put together a really nice cast, and you know, you got well, I dare say one of the icons in the horror business. That's you know. You got Angel Bradford, you got Felissa Rose, for God's sakes. I mean, this is you got some good talent in this movie.
Bill D. Russell's a talented guy too.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh yeah,
Russell, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
to see
Bill's
him.
great.
I mean, you got a talent. I mean, honestly, you got a talented cast.
Crystal Gorski's very talented.
Yep.
I heard lots of great stuff from her. She was in that Harlow's Haunt. I don't think it's been released yet, but I heard great reviews about her performance and John Dugan's performance. They have a scene together, I guess, and apparently it was like magic, you know, so I can't wait to see that now. But yeah, so Crystal Gorski is awesome. Again, Sarkis Backlion. I hope I'm saying that right. Again, I hadn't heard of him before, but man, what his audition was great. His audition was great. So I mean, I'm sure he must be in some films I can check out there, but I haven't actually seen any of them yet. But man, his audition was really good. Roland Keller is playing the role of Brady. He was in Valentine Bluffs, a My Bloody Valentine fan film, and that was actually really cool casting because he and Tom Smith, who made Valentine Bluffs, Tom Smith is going to be our SFX artist. So they're gonna come together.
Oh, very nice.
They were on live in the Krypt.
Yeah, we had them on. Yeah, it was great. And we liked it. We love that movie too, by the way.
Yeah, I was shooting the Shizz. For some reason, I thought it was just me in that one. But yeah, it was me and Brett. Yeah, you got some talent around you for sure, man. I'm real happy and proud, proud of you, because I know it was a long experience. How long did it take you to like go, all right, I'm ready to go back to shooting a film? Because I know you need a breather after. It
wasn't so much. I mean, I want to get moving. I honestly, the filming part is the part I love the most. It's this whole crowdfunding process, the whole promoting and getting the funds. It was tedious on the Sawyer Massacre. I'm hoping it won't be as tedious on this film now that the Sawyer Massacre has come out, and it's done pretty well as far as good amount of views, good reviews. I think it's still like around a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, somewhere in there. So I mean, I'm hoping that I've built a name for myself a little bit, and that people will believe in my work and believe in the cast that we have again, and the cast and the crew again. To have Thomas Smith as your SFX artist, the producers we have on board with Twitch Production and AKA Productions with Alexi. Man, there's just so many great people involved in this film that I really hope that we can really hope we can make it go exactly smooth and just get to filming as fast as possible, because it's the filming that I really love doing, but the promoting takes forever because, like I said,
I'm sure if you could write, direct, and cast, and that's all you had to worry about, you'd be fine. But it's a grind. It really is.
It's a grind, but you got to do it. And you know what? If we don't hit our goal right away or whatever, if we have to do a second campaign and we have to push shooting, whatever, we'll do what we have to do. I don't want to rush this film either. I want to have the necessary funds to make it with the cast that we have attached and with the crew that we have attached. Again, a lot of people coming from the US to film this movie, and I don't want to let those people down. I don't want to recast. It sucks recasting people, because it's more.
You had to do it a couple times with
I had to. Oh yeah, I had. I mean, the Sawyer Massacre. I didn't have the connections back then too when we first started casting. So I was putting out tons of casting calls, and I think we did get. Eventually, we got over 100 auditions, but again, it was just there was just so much fluff. There was so many not so good auditions, and you had to go through those. But the process was much longer. I think the process of casting the Sawyer Massacre just the first time around was probably about 6 months alone, and I was like, because I just wasn't getting the right people. There's a few roles I was really having a hard time casting, and as it appears, some of those roles I had to recast anyways, which was okay. I mean, I'm so happy with who we got to play the hitchhiker in the Sawyer Massacre. That young kid did extremely well in that role, and the actor we originally cast was great, but he was also a little too old for that role. He was in his early 20s, I think. And he didn't feel like a teenager. So, I was really happy with who we ended up casting in that role. So, I mean, we did pretty good. And Briley Michael Bell as Gene was awesome in that role. I'm like, that was another recast.
Fantastic talent in that movie for sure. I actually have two things I want to say. I see why you picked Trinity. Because she has that look I know you're looking for in your genre. She just has that. I could see where you were saying 25, but I could see she's got that mature look to her. I think she's going to be fantastic on the set. And if it's the movie I'm thinking about, because you said this is off a short film you had, was it Disorder movie? Is it break up, or was it actually?
No, Disorder is a different. It's very similar style though, but I did make a short film actually called Unseen, and I took it off my YouTube now because ultimately that short film is going to spoil this movie in a little bit, because there are things that happen in that short film that happen in the full feature as well. So I did take it down. If people were lucky enough to see it, great. But yeah, I took it down just because I don't want too many people spoiled on what plays out in that film.
Fresh.
You can add it to the DVD. You can add it to the DVD. You know, a bonus on the DVD.
Yeah, I probably will.
And just another suggestion, but some of the auditions from Trinity and some of the other folks, those are also cool things.
I know.
To throw on those bonus things.
I put some of the auditions for the Sawyer Massacre on the Blu-ray.
So what got Trinity? What got you started as an actress? What made you go, you know what, this is something I really, really want to do? Was there a movie, or was it just like ever since a kid, just dreamed of being an actor, actress? How did it come about?
Oh gosh. I like when this is it's a little bit of a weird story. I guess, but I feel like everybody's got a little bit of a weird story, but like I did
not us. Sorry.
Just did it. I did a play when I was in grade 8. It was Alice's Wonderland. My school paired with like a theater company to do it. I got to work with some very professional actors, and it was the best experience, one of the best experiences I've ever had. And that summer they called back, out of like the 30 kids that performed in that play, they called back 5 of us to redo the play, and I was one of those 5. And at first I wasn't going to be able to do it, just scheduling conflicts and stuff, until one of the, like, he was a very professional actor at the time, like London West End, doing things like that. He reached out to my drama teacher and asked for me specifically. He was like, Trinity hasn't like mentioned if she's going to do it or not. Do you think she's going to come out? I really want her to do it. And it was the like little switch in my brain flipped of like, I could do this. Wait, people want me to do this? People like when I act, when I'm on stage, when I'm doing stuff. And it kind of like got the ball rolling a little bit of making me like fall in love with it even more, of like the long grueling hours of like just doing it all day. And I still at the end of the day was happy to be there and like enjoying it. So kind of like all started from there.
You know what I see is really good? I don't know. I'm sure you see it, Stephen. Is she's going to be perfect to pull out any emotion you can get out of her. You can get her thinking about something and pull out some great emotions, which I think will really serve you well as an actress.
That's what I'm hoping.
Because it's very, you have a very genuine about you. Even you can tell when you're talking about something, you're emotional about it, and it means a lot to you. So give me a clap for that.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Now, Trinity, cry. No, just save it. Save it for the film. Save it for the film. Is there certain genres, or I mean, do you like comedy? Do you like the horror genre? Is there certain stuff that you like that really tickles your fancy? Or
I mean, I've never done anything horror before, so maybe I'll love it. I'm really hoping that I do. My mom won't love that very much, though. She won't enjoy that if I fall in love with horror, but I've been told by a couple of teachers that I'm fairly comedic, which is fun. I don't mind being funny, but I really am not that picky when it comes to doing things. Yeah.
That's great.
Horror is big right now, especially in the indie community. It's a great way for any, I think, actor or actress to get their start, even if they move on to other films that are more serious, dramatic, comedy, or whatever. But now I think back in the 80s and even the 70s, you went horror and you were an actor, actress. You're like, no, never doing anything but horror. If you did, like Jennifer Aniston or, there's been a few in the past, but it was kind of like the red flag. You never wanted to do a horror film. Where now I think it's the total opposite, especially with indie being as big as it is.
Well, yeah.
Having the horror genre in indie is enormous right now. So I think it's a good one to do a few films, build up your resume and your acting chops, and go from there, and it'll lead to other roles, which is awesome.
100%. Listen, I mean, just because, and like you said, John, back in the day in the 80s, especially if you were a horror movie actor, right? That's what they thought you were a horror movie actor. Some people were very lucky and got to do other stuff. I mean, nowadays it doesn't matter. Horror is so hot, as you said right now, especially in the indie scene and on the big screens as well, because of Terrifier and the Evil Dead and all this stuff that's coming out there that's just making money and doing well. That you got opportunities to do a lot of stuff. I mean, I audition for everything. There's if I just audition for horror, you limit yourself anyways, and that's but you never say no, right? So I'm excited. I mean, in fact, I think before I even knew Steve, I emailed him and said, I know you're doing a lot of stuff. Let me get involved in some of this stuff. And he says, I don't have something for. I'm sure you get those emails from everybody, by the way, Messenger. But I said, I knew he was doing stuff. I know he'd been on John's show before, and I was like, well, man, I gotta email this guy. He's moving and grooving. And he did. He said, listen, I don't have something for you right now, but I will in the future, and I'd love to work with you. And bam, here we are, Merlo.
Unseen. Nobody saw it coming. It was like it was unseen.
It was
Easy, cheesy
That's
joke.
great.
Waka. See, I'm quick with those comedic skills too.
Let's talk about the trailer real quick, guys.
Well,
I mean,
Sure.
okay, one second.
Lovely Miss Beatrice, Amanda Kruger, Beatrice Bupley. Her family never watches her in horror either, so you're on the right track right there.
Yeah.
Beatrice was in The Nightmare on Elm Street 5, was it?
5.
Oh, it was 5. Okay.
The Dream Child.
The Dream Child. I remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
you're gonna. Yeah. Hey, more sense design graphics.
He's the guy that did all our graphics for our Indiegogo stuff, our posters, and all the perks that you see, man. That Joe was working hard. I didn't think you could pull it off. I was like, hey, man, do you want me to just do what I can do and make some of the perk images? And he just like, no, let me do it. I've got it. And he pulled it off, man.
That's awesome. Welcome to the stream.
I will say one of the posters made my mom cry. So
there you go. Is it the one with you in it?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
So
moms will get over. Moms will be.
Mom? Yeah.
Moms will get over that stuff.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
My entire family is currently texting me, telling me they're all crying. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for Unseen. It sounds like, I mean, like even like Bill, he didn't tell me nothing, but when he's cast, he's like, yeah, it's got such a good tone to it. And, he's like, and that's why I thought it was the other movie. I'm thinking the tone, what he was explaining was just like in Disorder. And I'm excited for this film.
Yeah, similar to Disorder. It's definitely probably that psychological, kind of a bit of a mind.
And I think that's
mess with your mind. Yeah.
That'll be your specialty too. I think this is a movie, especially being your own, that.
It's weird because the Sawyer Massacre didn't really have a twist in it. It had, I would say, a reveal,
right?
A subtle reveal towards the ending about about.
Well, it was a good way. I mean, I always say like a good fan film for all these. It's a good way to get your name out there to do a good fan film, and then it's just like with acting, it opens opportunities where you've earned that credibility from the Sawyer Massacre. You got positive feedback from it. You earn that established that you will not only take the money, but you're going to get the film out there no matter what it takes, no matter what you got to go through. And you've grown to where now you can do Unseen. I think you're going to have a real successful campaign where maybe it was the other way around. It wouldn't have been as
Yeah, exactly. That was because before I did the Sawyer Massacre, my goal was to do this film as a feature-length film back in like 2018, 2019, because I had made the short in 2016, and it won a few awards at like some small festivals in 2017. So my goal was to make the feature-length version of Unseen in 2018, 2019-ish, but things weren't coming together for it then. And then all of a sudden, things just started coming together for the Sawyer Massacre. So I just, it was, you got to do the Sawyer Massacre. If things are coming together for that film, you just got to do that. And I guess it was the right move because it definitely, helped build a name for myself, I guess. But
you're paying your dues.
Paying your dues.
I mean,
yeah, I guess
you're paying your dues, and 100% getting that done, and with all the, the issues you had, and getting that movie out there, and then the fan base really liking it. I mean, you're paying your dues, and now, you're going to be able to benefit from it because people like you do. You have a name. You have put out a good project. You got some talented actors for the Unseen. The trailer looks phenomenal. I mean, I sent you a message earlier saying, it's kind of creepy, and that's what you said. That's what I wanted. And is that house in the trailer? Is that house in the trailer going to be in the movie?
Yes, I mean, at least I think so. I've talked to the owner of the house, and he seems like that house is just going to be used as an exterior. It's only going to be used for the exterior unless we can make a deal with the owner for the antagonist house.
Very creepy. Very creepy.
I've driven by that house many, many times. I thought, man, I got to use this house for a movie. And the cool thing about that house is, I mean, you saw there's a night shot, and it's lit up. They have these lights coming from the sidewalk that just light the house perfectly. So you don't even need any lights when you're shooting that house at night. It's great. It's so awesome. But yeah, as far as I can say, I mean, that'll be the antagonist house from an exterior point of view for sure. Hard to say. I mean, it's possible we could use it for the interior as well, but that might be a little harder because I know the owner runs a business out of there and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be nice though. It's a really cool, really, really cool heritage house, and it really speaks to the type of film we're making. That's for sure. So,
yeah, I mean, look at the trailer is great, and maybe I know John was getting ready to pop it in there because if folks haven't watched it, they should. They're on our site right now. They should watch it, and here we go.
I'm just trying to find the best angle. You know what? Maybe what I'll do for the trailer, we'll pull it on the full screen.
Sure.
I'll do that if I can.
Trinity, have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Okay, you gotta
trying not to say anything.
We might as well go for a reaction from Trinity then. Oh
no.
Amy, what are you writing? Oh, God. Look what you did.
What if it's him? You don't know the lengths this guy will go to. He's in the house right now.
Amy.
That was awesome. That was a really, really well done trailer, man.
Bam.
So
Booyah.
spooky.
Not bad for a no money trailer.
I thought it was awesome, man.
It was utilized what we had,
The tone was amazing, dude.
Thanks, guys.
I love the sound. I love the clock talk. The clock, and then the
clock.
The synthesizer, the piano.
That clock, I pulled that clock sound from. It wasn't like it wasn't recorded on set, or none of the sound that you hear in that trailer was recorded while we shot. It was all post. Everything was post. That clock I pulled actually from a song that I really like. I won't say the song because I might get in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't know.
don't do
But
that.
I pulled it from this song, and I changed the frequency of it so you couldn't quite tell. You might be able to tell if you're like a big fan of this song, but if not, then you won't know. But yeah, all the sound was done in post. There's not even like the girl, like when she's going through the bushes there, all the bush sounds I recorded in post because we didn't have a sound guy. And I hate camera audio. I hate it. I absolutely hate camera audio. It baffles me that people still do that, but they do. And it is what it is, you know.
How long did it take you to shoot that trailer, and when did you shoot it?
We shot it April 4th or something like that. It was just one day, and I think we started filming around 3:00 in the afternoon and shot till about 8 or 9 at night.
It's great, man.
I really liked it. I thought it was a great teaser trailer.
It was simplistic. It was minimalistic. We didn't have a lot to work with, but we had a few things like the camera guy. We shot it mostly in his house, and he had a few antique type stuff that were really usable for this kind of a trailer. And because I mean, it kind of sets up our antagonist a little bit, like the type of person he is, and because a lot of the stuff you're going to learn from the antagonist, you have to learn from what you see around him and the kind of stuff he's got and some of the stuff he says, because you never actually see the character on screen other than his hands, or you'll see his shadow, and that's about it. You know, you won't see much. You won't see any more than that. Silhouette, maybe a bit of a silhouette. Yeah, because a lot of it's POV from his perspective, just very similar to Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas.
I was going to say,
but even less. Like you won't even see this guy's eye or anything. You'll
you see his hand.
Make it, just his hand. Like you'll see his hand. Maybe you'll see two hands at some point, and again, that's about it. You won't be able to see what he's wearing because there's reasons why. I can't tell you why.
Because he's a nudist. We all know.
Yeah,
we all know the
sure.
twist.
He might
Run
not
around
actually
naked,
be
you
wearing
don't
any
wanna-
pants.
You know.
No, I love it. I told you I love the hand, and I love the heavy breathing and the whole. It takes me back to what really got me, you know, excited about horror movies and stuff. And the score and the sound was great. So
pretty tone too in the film.
Yeah, I love it.
I did all the sound and the score. I did all that, so I'll take credit for that. But I won't take credit for the hand. The hand was we only had one actress from our cast that actually lives in the same town as me, and that's Emily Mazies, who's playing Stacy.
So when you asked her to give you a hand, you
you
literally meant give us a hand.
She put her hand. We put a little bit of blood on it just so you get like that creepy vibes, but you know it had to be tasteful. It can't be. We didn't want the hand covered in blood. Plus, we didn't really have a lot of fake blood to work with because we really had nothing. You know, but
you
yeah,
don't
we
need that though. Sometimes.
You don't need a lot.
I mean, even you proved that because another movie I watched, you know, the Disorder one that I really enjoyed, and we talked about it. I loved the tone. There was no real blood, or there was a little bit, but nothing. You know, it was more like a 78 Halloween vibe to me. Where
and that's kind of the influence. Black Christmas, Halloween. Those are this type of movies influence for sure.
It's not the kill that's scary; it's the build up.
You know,
the
suspense.
whole the suspense of the kill. That's what makes
perceived fear coming. Trinity, horror movie wise, what have you watched and what have you liked? And are you going to have to do some homework now? You're going to have to watch Black Christmas, Halloween, Motel Hell. You're going to have to watch some of this stuff now.
I did do my homework. I watched Black Christmas. I watched all three, but you know, really only the important ones. So
you're going to also want to watch
the
Crazies. John Must Die in the End. You got to check that out, especially in the beginning. As an actor in the beginning of that one, pretty cool.
I'm just going to turn my lights, guys.
Chrome Skull 2 is another good one. And then
Yeah,
the 03 Texas Chainsaw Massacre is another one you should put on your list.
My friend just had me watching all the Conjurings, which was something I never thought I would ever do. But I watched the OG Conjuring, which I thought was fun. It's like that one's actually funny. You guys were talking about gore. That one has an R rating for the pure fear factor alone. Like there's no gore, there's no swearing, there's no sex in it. It's purely R because it's fear. And it's scary.
Recommendation for you, Trinity, if you haven't seen it yet, since you're a new horror fan, I always recommend Psycho with Anthony Perkins. Not the remake. Do not watch the remake. But the original Psycho is always a good one to watch to start with horror.
I will say the first horror movie I ever watched was The Blair Witch Project because I felt like that's a beautifully done film. So
it is. It's one of my favorites.
it's honestly quite amazing. Like the marketing and the filming of it all is like it's the epitome of indie.
Well,
and
when
it's
it came
so
out
good.
too, it was one of those films that really had never been done in the theater like that before, and things followed like Paranormal Activity and all these other found footage style. And I enjoy the found footage. Some people don't like it. I find a lot of fun in it. Even my buddy Kyle, I'll give him a shout out, has a found footage movie that him and his buddy did as kids that I thought was great. So, but Psycho, check it out. You should definitely watch some old Alfred Hitchcock movies. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh, I knew it sounded familiar. I have seen Psycho. I knew it sounded familiar. I was like, that sounds so familiar. I know I've seen
even
it.
the sequels are good.
That one, Psycho really had me with the spoilers for Psycho, but if you haven't seen it yet, just the you think she's the main character, and then 20 minutes in, she's dead, and you're like, who? What?
Well, imagine at the time too. Well, it Scream, the original Scream, did that with Drew Barrymore. They featured her. Like Janet Leigh was featured as the main girl in Psycho in the trailer. So when she died, especially at the time, like even you now, you're seeing it. But at that time, those fans were like, "Oh, Janet Leigh, and she's dead." And Scream even not ripped it off, but was influenced by it, and they executed it very well, especially to new fans that maybe hadn't seen Psycho at the time. Now it's from the 90s. That new movie Scream. Have you seen it yet, Steve?
the new Scream?
No, I was talking about the original Wes Craven one. I was making a joke, the new, but yeah. But yeah, Scream's always a classic.
There you go.
So far, the campaign. Let's take a look at what you've made here. I won't pull up the screen.
How have we done so far? We done
let's
okay?
See.
We've done okay.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to drop the links again, guys. Even going and donate. You're up over 7. You're over at 707.
That's all good. That's US,
We're
right?
going to get those numbers up there. I'm sure you're going to be cranking it out as usual with the campaign, and you got some great perks. You want to tell some people about the perks you got for it?
Sure. You want to pull them up as I talk about them? Or?
I do.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. So we start with the social media shout out. And again, thank you, Joe, for the amazing perk graphics you did for us. I know he said he's good night, Joe. He said he has to leave or whatever. But thanks, buddy. You got more work to do for me, though. He's a great guy. I got to get back to my work. Hopefully that's the work on this movie. Anyways, social media shout out. So you'll just get a shout out on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I don't have a Twitter account for this film yet, so that might change. But if we do, we'll do a shout out there as well. So that's just us giving you a shout out. Then the special thanks in the end credits. Just get your name in the end credits and on IMDb. I think after that is digital download. I think. Next? I can't see the screen very well here, guys. Sorry, I'm on my phone looking. Yeah, that's the digital download. Yeah, so that's a digital download of the film, the posters, and the script, I believe. So you'll get all those for $30 Canadian or $22 American, I think. Then we got our smaller posters. These are 12 by, I want to say 16.
You are correct.
Are the dimensions? Yes.
That's what it is.
So
if you want, I can read the perks since you know them and you're having trouble seeing them.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, as long as I get the.
Well, I know you're getting
right.
older. Your birthday wasn't that long ago, and you don't have your glasses.
My
now.
birthday's about to hit. My birthday's.
It's about to hit. Well, I know it was one
yeah.
of the months.
It's coming up at the end of June. It's not that far away, and I'm not telling you how old I'm going to turn. No, I can tell you.
54.
No,
40.
Oh, do I really look 54? Oh,
No, you do not.
that's okay. Yeah, the big 43. 43. Yeah.
And then this lovely lady's in the film.
That lovely lady, Felissa Rose.
One of the nicest people.
Felissa is amazing. I had a great chat with her on the phone. Well, I was actually through Messenger, I believe. Just a wonderful person to talk to. Very, very supportive. You know, was asking about what, you know, when we could possibly film it and all that kind of stuff to go around her schedule. She does a lot of conventions, so we're going to be accommodating to her. Very excited to have her be a part of the film, and she was really kind of the one. I mean, I could have asked a few people, but she was kind of the one that I always heard from numerous people that Felissa Rose is amazing. Felissa, you got to work with Felissa Rose. You got to work with her. So, I mean, I'm sure there's many others that are just as good as her, but at the same time, when you hear that much positive feedback on Felissa Rose, it said to me, I gotta get Felissa Rose in this film. This is what it said to me. So, and after chatting with her, it was just the nicest person, you know.
Yeah, it's like, how nice could somebody really be? Michael McGlynn was the one who was like, "Oh, she's the nicest person," because he did some films with her in this.
Yeah, Michael McGlynn is one.
Yeah, Mike's awesome.
He was in the Sawyer Massacre and everything, right? So, you know, Mike and I have. We've bonded. That's for sure.
Mike's one of the good guys out there.
Oh, he
really
definitely
like
is.
Mike
I mean, the whole Slasher 15 crew is awesome. I just love I love what they do. And congrats to those guys on the Slasher Nurse. She's going to be in the Slasher Nurse as well. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's a dream come true that she could actually be in this film. It's a dream come true that Brett could be in this film. Another person I'm forgetting to mention here is the voice of the Unseen Man, our antagonist, Adam Ginsberg, who is one of our producers on the film as well. You know, I was struggling to find a good voice for this killer. And, you know, he reached out to me and said, you know, I actually do have voice acting experience. I've been a voice actor on other projects just as a voice, you know. And I said, okay, why don't you try it and see what you can do? And he sent me an audition for the Unseen Man, and it was like, you got the gig, man. I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I got it. And his voice in the trailer, I think, you know, Brett, I think you even said his heavy breathing is pretty
I loved it.
creepy.
I loved it. Yeah, it's. I wish it was me, but I'm glad he is doing it. Yeah, he did a really nice job, and yeah, that heavy breathing is creepy, man. That's what I'm saying. It takes you back to. He did a great job, so that's awesome.
He did, yes. So he's been very supportive as well. Again, the whole cast and the producers and everybody involved. I can't thank these people enough for believing enough in this project. And the amazing artwork that Joe has done. It's just I couldn't ask for a better graphics guy than honestly, I don't know why he doesn't have his phone ringing off the hook with people messaging him or whatever, saying, hey, I want you to do my work. I want you to do my film or whatever graphics you need graphics for. Because I mean, I see people posting on Facebook all the time for graphics. I need a graphic artist. And I refer Joe right away. Joe's the guy. Joe is awesome. He is so awesome. And I love what he's done. I didn't think he would be able to pull all this off, but man, he sure did. So yeah, you can get it on VHS.
I lost the page and I was going through everything. So you got the posters, which I love the posters. And like you said, the poster
they're all
art
great.
is awesome.
I love all three posters that he designed for us. I think they're pretty awesome. I can't believe he did 3.
And really nice sized. I mean, that's a good sized poster.
Yeah, so the
small
walls.
Ones are
the 12 by 16s, and then the big ones are 24 by 30. 2.
I really
Yeah.
like all of them. I think the crystal one's my favorite one though. I like the no. It really is a great cover
I called it the Dark Crystal
or poster.
I don't know
Ooh.
what a nerd I am, man. The Dark Crystal.
That's a
I
good
don't know why I
one.
called it that.
They're all really good. I like all the posters. You should do a combo poster. Get all 3.
I probably will, and I'm sure there's going to be numerous people requesting,
Yeah, they're nice, man.
secret perks as far as certain items go. Whether it be the video package. I know a lot of people message me during the Sawyer Massacre. Can you do all 3 videos in one? And, save me a bit on the shipping. Whatever, the shipping.
Get one with the official Trinity autograph on it.
Yeah.
What?
Those autographs.
Well, Trinity's in Canada. That's the one hard part about that. Unless Trinity goes to the U.S., because shipping from Canada is something I learned from the Sword Massacre is super expensive.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's a little part of Vancouver that's American soil. I'll just go down there.
Oh, there you
do
go.
a bunch of signings
Do that.
and
We
send
won't
it out
tell
from there.
nobody.
There you go.
I am thinking we'll probably add like autographed headshots at some point to the campaign. Brett, let me know if you're interested in that.
It's a done deal, bud. We're good. Yeah.
Good thing though is too.
I'll even ask Felissa if she's willing to do that as well. I'm not. You never know. Again, she's a busy gal, so she might not have the time to do that. But if she does, that'd be great. I'm sure they would. Sure, they would sell out if she is willing to do them. But I won't put them on the campaign without her go ahead, obviously. But yeah,
you should just see if you have somebody in America, do it in one shipment, and they could mail it out to the certain different perks in the States, and then you mail the ones in Canada.
I'll say this: when it came to the Sawyer Massacre, shipping,
Brett will help you do that. Brett will ship everything.
Well, there you go. Where you got it, Brett?
I don't want to do it.
We ran into a lot of trouble in the Sawyer Massacre shipping because I'm
in Los Angeles.
You're in LA, okay?
Yeah.
But a lot of, as far as the shipping went with the Sawyer Massacre, I shipped a bunch of stuff from Canada, and it proved to be quite expensive to ship from Canada. So I opted to get a lot of stuff shipped from Texas, where we shot and stuff like that, just to save money, because we left a lot of like the props and stuff there. But they still haven't been sent out yet. So I'm like,
dude, I swear it's more expensive to mail to Canada than it is to Australia. I don't know what it is.
It seems weird.
Insane.
I don't know why. I had no idea that Canada would be so expensive. Had I known that at the time, I didn't charge as much for Canada shipping when I did the Indiegogos for the Sawyer Massacre. So I some of the perks I lost a little bit of money. Not all of them, but some of them I did. But
we can figure it out. We can. I can help you as long as there ain't 200 pictures we got to send out to 200 people. We're fine. So
do 199.
We'll figure that out.
199, Steve.
Yeah, 199. It'll be. Oh, I know. I doubt it would be that much, but shipping to Canada, either shipping to or shipping from. I know when someone orders a picture or something signed for me, and I got to ship it to Canada, I always tell them, "Hey, I'm sorry, I got to charge you $20 for shipping for this, or $25," and they're like, "Oh my god!"
More than the autograph.
Our VHS guy had that same issue when he was shipping the VHS. Because within the U.S. everything was fine, but he had to ship one to Canada and one to the UK, and they were both roughly the same price, the UK and the Canadian. I was like, how is it that? How are those like that close? Like, why is Canada almost just as expensive as the UK when it's like just north of the U.S.? Why? Because
you live in paradise. Steve, you live in paradise, right? So. Paradise comes at a hefty price, especially Kelowna.
Sure especially Kelowna, yeah.
Especially Kelowna.
Kelowna's a funny little town. It's I love it here, but man, it's what's the word I would give to Kelowna? It's hard. I'll say this: it's hard to get people involved in Kelowna. Like my local community could care less about this film I'm bringing here. They could care less. The local film community, bringing Felissa Rose to Kelowna, they don't care. They don't care.
You being a musician, you should just write a parody song called "My Kelowna."
My Kelowna.
Oh my gosh, the neck. That's Trinity. That's a joke about 80s band that called the Knack.
Many gray
Sharona.
hairs ago.
It's
little-
a
little bit before your time.
before my time. I
Yeah,
will
many
not.
wrinkles ago.
Oh, come on. It's a big song, though, Trinity. I mean,
Huge
I'm sure
song.
all the bar bands still probably play that song. I still
Well,
play
she
that
can't.
song
She
when I
doesn't
play
even
live
do the
gigs.
bars yet, Steve.
What? She's 19.
She's 19. They can drink up there.
Is 18. I forget. I always forget.
19 is
Although
bar age. Here,
I'm not
21.
trying to brag, but when I was like 14, 15, and we went to Canada for no, it wasn't hockey. It was for a drum corps, and they didn't card then, and I wasn't complaining, so it was a good time at 14 or 15.
I mean, it was pretty awful moving. I turned 18 in Alberta and was legal for about 3 months, and then I moved here and then had to wait another year to drink again.
That's
I was
funny.
like,
Oh,
this isn't that fun.
Jeez, come on! I gotta wait to become an alcoholic. That's
I did. I truly did.
You know what?
My roommate turned 19 before I did, and I had him buying all my liquor.
Oh, that was the tough part. I remember when I was 21, and I always loved it when I was the one turning first, and then the ones that didn't. It's like, I was in the cutoff, so they were in the same grade, but they got it like 11 months before me. It's like,
all I can say, Trinity, is enjoy your youth while you have it, because
gosh,
I feel like I was just 19 not very long ago, and I'm getting on.
It does go so fast.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
24 years ago, Steve. 24 years ago.
Yeah.
You were 19. Listen. So,
well, let's go through these perks. Finish going through some of these real quick. Let me get if I can figure out how to do it here. Here we go, Felissa.
DVD, there you go. DVD, yeah.
The bloody DVD.
DVD,
bloody
VHS,
DVD,
bloody VHS. Steve uses his own
DVD.
blood on it.
Oh yeah.
He went to the blood bank. He's like, they're like, you want to donate this blood, right? No, I need it for my VHS boxes. I just need you to take it out for me.
Thank you, video. That's pretty cool. Is that the direct?
You get a special thank you from yours truly, and it'll be videoed. And it'll be personalized, so to whoever gets it.
So the larger poster.
Yeah, the bigger poster.
That's like
24 by 32
cameo. That's a deal. You'll be one of the Steve's first cameos. Large poster. Exactly. Now you're going the huge one, 2 feet by almost 3 feet.
Yeah.
Those are great though. I love those. I got them hanging downstairs behind my banner now. But nice movie size posters, really. Dark Crystal poster. I like that. Dark Crystal. Does she understand? Do you know the Dark Crystal?
I know what Dark Crystal is.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
I got that one.
That's a Jim Henson movie. Because I'm a nerd.
Get your t-shirt today.
That's a pretty sweet t-shirt.
Yeah, Joe designed the t-shirt.
I'll need a 5X.
It's got Trinity's face on it.
Oh,
Trinity's face in the blood. If you look at.
And if you remember how Kiss put the blood in the comics, Steve and the cast are putting the blood in the ink for this shirt too. So you'll get that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean they're going all out for this. They're giving blood for this campaign. Show your face.
Yeah, picture in the film. You can get your picture in the film. Yeah, that's always seems to be kind of a popular perk.
Oh, I see the lovely Nicole Vegas is here.
Hey, Nicole.
There we go. Good to see you, Nicole. All right, let me go back to the perks. The artist in the film, huh?
Yes.
Your artwork.
Get your artwork or music so that I don't have to compose all the music myself. Otherwise, I will. But it's nice to get some help on a feature film. Short films, I have no problem composing all the music for. But, man, these feature-length films, man, I could use a hand.
Well, let's our buddy Joe Gonzalez, who was in Desert Fiends, and I just did a music video for him, and he's a one-man show with his band, and it's pretty good. So, Joe, if you're listening, hit up Steve Merlo and check this thing out, because that would be cool. He's a real good guy and a real good musician, and I just filmed a music video for him a couple weeks ago. So
I was reached out to by a guy you did desert feeds with, TK Payne.
Ah,
He was like, he congratulated me on the film and said that you're a great guy. He's super excited.
Exciting.
he's lying, but I that's good. He's lying, yeah. Eating on the job. Explain this. Oh, feed the cast and crew. I got
So
you.
it's like being a sponsor for the
Sure.
that we have. I have a buddy that's a caterer, so I think we're gonna get food for cheap. I think. I'm gonna.
If it's a truck and it's a food truck, I know Brett would be there in a heartbeat. And they'd have to bring 2 trucks. Brett
Might have to get a taco truck.
taco
Ooh,
trucks.
who doesn't
Canadian
love
taco truck.
The burrito.
Yeah, they're not as big around here, taco trucks. Just so you know, I've seen them. I've seen them.
Rental sponsor.
Equipment rental. Bad boy mowers.
We need the good quality cameras, man. We're gonna shoot this on the Ari, right? I don't know. I don't even know if my DP feels comfortable shooting on an Ari. I don't know. We'll see.
SFX
Sponsor. Yeah.
SFX sponsor of Jesus Christmas. It's one of those nice already. And now I gotta even like pull away from the swear. It's terrible. All right,
Give me gore. Give me more gore. That's great.
Give me more gore. Well, this isn't a really gory film, mind you, but at the same time, Thomas Smith is a true artist at SFX, and he's got some really awesome stuff he's going to do on this film. But it's not cheap, you know. He's coming from Philadelphia, I believe.
He's coming from the boonies, yeah. Coming from the cheesesteak capital of the world. Your logo in the opening credits. That's always nice, and always a nice advertisement.
Yeah, sponsor the film. If you want to sponsor the film, I might add another tier of sponsorship. We'll see. We'll see if people are open to different tiers of sponsorship. But get your logo in the opening credits. We might do one where you get we show it in the film at some point, something like that. Yeah, there you go. Very cool. IMDb associate producer, and then IMDb and end credits, associate producer, and IMDb opening credits and end credits. So, and then the same with the executive producer. So all kinds of tiers of associate producer and executive producer credits for all those different levels that people want to be.
And nothing like seeing your name on a film. I don't care. It was cool. Sawyer Massacre was my first time seeing my name on a film, and it was pretty cool.
It's also nice either if this is something that you want to get into in this business to have the IMDb credits. I mean, you know, you would think, oh, who cares about IMDb? But people do. And I send people, even for myself, if a producer contacts me, I say, well, here's my IMDb page and go take a look. And then they can see your work and they can see a lot of your stuff. And it's a big deal. It helps. So that's a great added perk with everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
The Supreme Associate.
The Supreme.
Supreme Associates. What do you get with that? Peppers, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms. I'll take a Supreme Associate and a large breadstick. All right.
Executive producer, yes. In the end.
Yep. Executive producer in the end credits. I'll let you handle that one, Steve-O.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll get your name in IMDb, and you'll get your name in the end credits as an executive producer. Pretty simple.
Thank you credit. I'll even say thank you very much upon a request. Yeah. The Supreme Executive.
Oh, you know what I just noticed, Steve? I noticed that you have the Canadian cost, and you also have the U.S. cost on here.
2,000 Canadian
Very
dollars
nice.
and $14.84 in US.
I think it automatically comes up that way, Brett. I think
That's
it
great.
Automatically does that, yeah. Indiegogo always, and it's going to vary day to day because the conversion rate is always the exchange 100%. Rate is always changing.
Yeah.
So, you know, some people ask me to make perks in US dollars. I'm like, I can't do that because it's going to change. You know, it's always different, right? So I mean, I can tell you roughly what it's going to be when I make the perk, but because it's coming from a Canadian bank account,
Sure.
right? It's that I can only make the perks in Canadian. Sorry, people. Hope that's okay.
Sure.
I like the conversion rate, because like when my son asks me if, you know, once in a while for some money, is like, oh, can I borrow, you know, $100? I know it's only, you know, that's about $60 Canadian for real. So it's like, all right, $70. So it's kind of nice to go, all right, look, I just gave him $100. You know, it really kind of saved it.
Executive sponsor.
That's our top perk. That's our premium perk. You get executive producer on all three IMDb end credits and opening credits, and you get your logo. You get your animated logo in the opening credits as well. I think I also put it so that you can get it in somewhere in the film, placed in the film as well, if I'm not mistaken.
And we might want to add to that, if they are the executive sponsor, they get all that. Plus, me and John will go to their house and have dinner with them.
What if they're in Italy? Will you go to their house and have dinner with them?
Sure.
Because I'm not going to pay for that. Just so
I would. If it was Italy, I could probably talk the wife into letting me go.
Oh, there you go. Okay. If it's a vacation for you that you've always wanted to go, what if it's somewhere crappy, like, I don't know, what's a crappy place, Somalia or something like that?
Newfoundland. No. I like the I like the Newfies. Wow. So, man, it's some great perks.
Yeah.
Great cast. Great director. Great crew. I mean, great trailer. I mean, it's got it all, and I'm really excited for you, and you, Trinity, as well, and the whole cast. I mean, it's nice to see Steve, and we, you know, not just because we're friends of you, and I'm doing work with you on the movie, but it's nice to see someone who has hustled and worked very hard at what he does to, you know, all of a sudden start doing some standalone films with a great cast, and you know, we really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about it, and you know, letting the whole world know this. You got to work hard to do this stuff. It doesn't come easy, but we're real excited for you, man, and you too, Trinity.
Oh, thanks, Brett.
Yeah, thank you.
We're happy to have you involved in the film, playing Trinity's father. That's pretty cool.
And we noticed they got the same nose. They got the same nose. Look at that.
Okay. I would totally believe it. Totally.
I did. We were talking about that before. I didn't say anything during the stream because I didn't know what you wanted to give away. But I looked at them like, they actually could cast for father and daughter.
Yeah.
But I thank you guys both for being here. Steve, always great seeing you, dude.
Always great.
It's been too long, but I'm excited to be talking about Unseen. Love the cast you got. Big congratulations, Trinity. Looking forward to seeing your first lead role, your first big role. I think you're going to do amazing. You got amazing talent around you to work with. And I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I think you got a big career ahead of you. And tomorrow night, I got a shout out. We got on DK and the Bees Horror Bus. We got Matt Burns coming on. He does everything from he's
producer.
He's wrote Red Rosie. I think that's the name of it. And Beatrice is in that one. He does promotions. I just see him everywhere. So I'm excited to talk to him, get to know him better, learn more about everything he's doing. And yeah,
I'll see him in 2 weeks. I'll see him at Carolina Fear Fest. He's one of the reasons I'll be there because of Matt, and I appreciate that. But yeah, man, this is great, man. We're real excited, and this is what I wanted to ask. Where's the red carpet going to be? Are we going to be in LA? Are we going to do 2 red carpets premieres? Are we going to do LA? Are we going to do Canada? What are we doing?
I try not to think about that stuff too far in advance, you know, but I'd love to do 2 red carpets, one in the States and one in Canada. But we'll just have to see. I have no idea. But I'm just putting it up there. I'm just putting it in there. I'm just putting it in there. I'm thinking ahead for you.
The world's
Thanks.
longest
Well,
red
thanks.
carpet. It's going to go from California to Canada. Brett's walking the whole way. He's doing
I'll fly out for that. Listen, I would love to. I love Canada. I've been there so much, and over the last 10 years, 5 or 6 times a year. I love it up there. So I would be an honor and a privilege to come up and do a red carpet up there.
It's beautiful here. I gotta say, it's actually really hot here right now. It's like abnormally hot for this time of year, but we're hanging in there.
Well, thank you so much again, guys. We're going to get you on
Thanks
again.
for
I'm
having
sure
us.
we'll be talking more Unseen. You got so many great cast members in there that I love having on the show too. So Unseen will be talked about a lot. I think it's going to be a huge success, and I'm excited for all of you guys. And until next time, which will be tomorrow for me, we'll see you soon. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.